All right, pray sinful.
Got my life. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we to come here on the podcast again, do episode number 2. And I got Mary on my mind now. I want to pray for Mary. I want to pray for Sean, Lord, and you know what we're asking for? Miracles. You are the great physician. The Bible says so. And we believe it. We're going to trust in faith that you are going to answer the prayer, Lord. And as we go into this, Father, we, like Larry asked, we ask that you would open the hearts of those listening, that we could touch not one. I'm not going to single out one. I want to touch everybody. Lord, you are that great. You are that powerful. You just control our words, guide our mouths. Let our hearts be forgiving and our paths be righteous ones. And just let us speak what you would have us speak. It's in Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome. Let's go to work.
But baby, what can I do? Shut out the lights and we will fall. This is the way that we will go. This is on me. But baby, mostly you. Shut out the lights and we will fall. This is the way that we will go. This is on me. But baby, mostly
Harbor Drive, that voting is still open for that. So this is going to drop, I think, on October 16th or 15th, 16th, right around there. And the voting for that is October 18th. That'll
Wednesday's the 8th. Wednesday will be the 8th.
I'm talking this one. This one right here will drop on
7 days from the 8th,
yeah,
which is the 15th.
Okay, so then voting is still open till the 18th. So get out there, vote for those guys. It's Mary. Like I said, I'll have Mary put it up on the Instagram and Facebook. That is Modesto Area Music Awards or something like that, and they are up for hard band of the year. So, like I said, he was amazing to get this up and running for us. And I just, I love that man to death. So I think he's doing a hell of a job. He's doing what he is literally doing what he loves in that band. He literally is doing what he loves, and he is doing amazing. His son's in the band. I think it's both of his sons. What are you doing over there?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Dude, we got our wives back and you're completely distracted. I'm no longer your number one. I'm your number one inside this room.
You're right. I apologize.
Bonnie is not the number one here. I am.
Want to fight for him?
No, you're good. Listen, you short women scare the shit out of me.
I got 20 seconds that'll tear you.
After that, her gas tank is gone. But those 20 seconds,
You'll be hurting for those 20 seconds. I promise you.
Ankle biters scare the shit out of me.
she's like she's the throat puncher.
Ankle biters. And we have 2 wiener dogs ourselves.
Ankle biters.
But
scare
speaking
me.
of that, but knowing all that, you know how many times we were walking the dog a while back, a few months ago, and we're just talking. I said, we've probably had crosswords less than 5 times in 25 years. She goes, you know why? I was like, do tell. Genius. She goes, but she's absolutely right. She goes, because we decided to, leave your feelings at the door. I can't read your mind. You can't read mine. Leave your feelings at the door and let your, say what you mean and mean what you say. She goes, and we've never told each other anything like that. Hey, woman, you better go right of them pots and pans. Right. That ain't going to fly in our, okay.
He says it, but then gives a little wink and a chuckle afterwards.
Or she's not going to say, hey, the lawn's not going to mow itself,
right.
Because I'm not going to, but she says, because love doesn't speak like that in our home. That's why we haven't really, because that's not going to get you where.
You need to bump those odds up a little bit.
Well, we never have. We don't. But I never really thought about it. We've never really, raised our voices.
Only one time.
Oh,
one time.
Well, that's your damn fault.
No, that was your fault.
You were on
your fault.
You were on the ladder.
I told you to do it for like 2 months.
Then you told me.
I got to ask a question. When that happened,
hold on, Mary.
Did he just come from the insurance agent bumping up your life insurance when he let you fall off that ladder?
She didn't fall.
No, I was like 9 months pregnant.
Oh, shit.
She was 8 months pregnant with our daughter.
That's
on
funny.
the ladder. Clean. It hadn't even rained yet. I said, I'll do it when I get home.
For a month, he said, I'll do it when I get home.
And he came home and you were up on it.
No, it was funny. He pulls in. He walks over there calmly. What you doing, babe? Clean. Okay, come here. Get down. Dude, he picks that up, and I mean, it goes over the fence, down the driveway. That's my baby. I just walks in the house.
He didn't give a
Shit.
shit if you fell.
Oh, he was mad, but I get it.
Was he
mad.
sober?
I think I was trying to be kind of a dick and make a point. Well, I'll just go show him, see how he likes that. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
You don't want
But that's the only time I've really seen
him
him,
anymore.
especially not if it comes to a kid.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
But that's really the only time
I got
I
got loud, screamed.
You know what?
That was the
Katie,
only
Shit,
time.
I kicked the shit out of that ladder though.
Yeah, I did.
you know what? Katie and I have gotten into some. We cannot say that, but it's not because we were telling each other what to do.
No, these are just rules we kind of lived by
And
to
I
just
know.
stop those things from happening.
It is, Katie and I's personalities are extremely different on certain things, and I am I'm black and white on certain things. I am fucking black and white, and I hate that about myself, right? And Katie tries to get me to see things in between the lines, and sometimes I can't, right? And I won't. You're right. I just won't, and I don't like that about me because that's my dad and that's my grandpa, and I want to change those things about me. So I'm getting better at that. I really am. Yesterday I ate something at dinner that I've never ate before.
What was
I
that?
tried something different.
I love food. Come on.
It was a freaking. Have you ever had bacon jam?
No.
First off, bacon is bacon, but it was a bacon
hold
jam.
on, but hold on. You got chocolate, right? For me, peanut butter, marshmallow too, and bacon. Those things you can add almost anything and make it better.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Bacon jam sounds good.
We stopped at
What would you have it on?
on a bison burger. On a bison burger. But this is Larry,
Rich,
right?
Bison's rich.
Dude, here's Larry, right? Put it on the side because I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, right? So he brings it on the side. And
I can't argue with that either.
I took it. I'm like, what the fuck is bacon jam? Because I'm thinking sweet.
Salty sweet.
It wasn't. It literally, it tasted like it was just bacon. And I mean, like and it was freaking amazing. I looked at Katie and I go, do you know how to make this?
I'm sure she can figure it out.
I want some of this.
What is the texture though?
It's a jam. It was a jam.
I'm a texture person.
No,
and
I agree with you, Bonnie. Bonnie,
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think of like a bacon, like
No. It was.
I was hoping for
jam.
salty sweet.
No, I didn't get the salt. It was a.
Sometimes it is salty sweet. Sometimes even a little bit spicy. I think it's just on
How it's made.
how it's prepared,
Okay.
who does it, what
it was-
flavor profile.
Because when you
they're
said
going
that,
for.
you know what popped in my mind?
Go look here. This.
You know that nasty jelly shit you see like on a canned ham?
Oh, yeah,
or
no.
something like that
No.
jelly like
Yeah.
stuffy.
No, it was.
That's what it.
Yeah.
It is literally. It was a jam, like I said, and it put on the side, and I tasted a little bit, and it was freaking amazing.
you put it on the burger?
Oh yeah, I put it all over that burger. I told Katie on the way. We've stopped at this place. It's in Dublin on the way over to San Francisco. It's called Lazy Dog.
Right by Hayward, babe.
Yeah, and I've told Katie, I'm like, you know what, we need to bring Rob and some of the guys over to have a date night with the guys. I love that restaurant. We've stopped. That's like the second or third time we've eaten there, and the waits, everybody was there, was amazing. I mean, it was just a great dinner. It was good. Anyway, so it was bacon jam and then a cheese on it I've never tried before.
What kind of cheese?
What was it, Katie?
Havarti.
Havarti.
That's his favorite.
I've never had it
That's
before.
his favorite.
With
and
that
I kept
bacon?
telling him, you'll like it. It's
On
funny.
a bison
You know, I
burger?
think they.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
not like Larry likes Gouda, but Larry's
I love
super
Gouda too.
particular about like other things. But he's funny. Larry's super weird about foods and.
But
his
Katie, it's not that I'm weird. Here's the problem with me. What? Hey, fuck face. Get your face back over here. Oh, Mary's looking at me.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm weird. I'm a little
I thought he
weird.
was talking to you. I was going to hand you something to throw.
Hey,
Go ahead.
But-
you are weird, but go ahead.
I'm fucking anal is the problem. So,
Hey, that's on your four step. Don't
remember-
bring that shit in.
hey,
I mean,
speaking of four
it's not
steps,
his three egg omelet.
Yeah.
You know, he had a big issue over that. It was
Yeah.
the
It's a-
3.5 egg omelet.
Go ahead.
speaking of four steps, anyways, Pat gives me a hard time because I'll wear the same t-shirts all the time. But here's the thing about it. I literally, if it's on the top, I just grab what's on top and that's what I wear.
And that's usually what
Right?
got washed last.
And shit gets washed every day around here. So it's a lot of times it's the same t-shirt
love it.
on because it's
so
just
what's that have to do with
easy.
being anal?
Well, because I don't like new shit. I know what I like, and I'm
You
going to
don't
stick
like
with.
change. You
I don't
like
like change. What do they always
I
say
get
about
that.
alcoholics? Alcoholics don't like change, and they
the way
like
things are. They don't like the way the two things.
they don't
are-
like the way things are, and they hate change.
Yeah, they hate change in the way things are.
And you know the sad part about that, everything I'm doing at this new job I'm doing, I'm changing everything around. So speaking of 4 steps, listen to this. Listen, this is about a minute and a quarter long, but we have talked about this on the air, and I'm dying to play this.
Wait a
I want to
second.
hear from some
Thank you for
people who
joining
are
us
actually
today.
We
in
hope
the
you learned
group.
something today that will help you.
I fucked
If you
the
did
chicken
not,
once.
come back next.
Okay.
What?
Do not play
I
this.
fucked the
Do
chicken.
not.
You mean you fucked a chick? Can I tell my own story? Thank you. My old lady kicked me out of the house. It's back in Aberdeen. I was sleeping in the barn. I was all pissed off and drunk out of my gourd. And there was this chicken there. And I picked it up and I fucked it.
How is that even possible?
I'm not a zoologist, but I guess you got to go up in where the eggs come down, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the chick.
Okay, sorry.
Larry.
Oh, stop it. Our listeners are used to our crude shit. Hey, I do it because he talks about his chicken dying all the time.
Abigail was her name.
That is Louder Milk that's on Netflix, and I'm telling you, it's 3 seasons, and pray to God they bring that back. But you said 4 steps, and I had to play that.
Dude, but
Sorry.
that whole clip.
The whole thing
hilarious.
is, dude.
Okay, but we're going to switch topics here because I have something for Katie.
That goes to our topic
Well,
when we get to it.
Sure.
We were talking about the big book
Yes.
and how if anybody who wants to know the inspiration for the big book, I'll tell you where it comes from. This is the co-founders, Dr. Bob and Bill W. Their last speeches, and Dr. Bob tells us, Katie, on page 11, I had refreshed my memory of the good book. We know what the good book is. I'm somewhat allergic to work, but I felt that I should continue to increase my familiarity with the good book, he says. And this is where him and Bill came up with it. But we were convinced that the answers to our problem, alcoholism, was in the good book. To some of us older ones, the part that we found absolutely essential were the Sermon on the Mount, the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians, and the book of James. Those 3 are the inspiration of this. If you go to Dr. Bob's house now, this in Vermont, where Jeanette's from, by the way. They still have meetings, I believe, in his house, and his Bible is open to the book of James in a glass case, his favorite book. That is where this came from. Sermon on the Mount, 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians, what we call the love chapter, and the book of James. There you go. There's the inspiration of the big book, whether you like it or not.
The ironic part of that is when I was in recovery at Maynard's, that's the book of James is where I went to and I read it, and it's highlight. I mean, there's notes in there.
Why is that? Well, what do you say?
I don't know what it was.
James is all about action. Get into action.
I didn't understand why I was
Right.
in James so much
Right.
until I got out of recovery, until
Well,
I
and twice-
actually started working in the big book. I was like, huh,
Well, you see, faith without works is dead.
Oh, yeah?
That's James chapter 2, verse 22, I believe.
right.
And it's about action.
Yep.
Don't lean on a shovel, but don't pray for a hole while you're leaning on a shovel.
Yep.
Get your ass digging. You know what I mean?
We literally just talked about that the
Don't
other night.
sit on your knees with a
Right.
bottle of Jack Daniels in your hand and screaming to God to take this
Yeah,
away from
take
you.
it away.
And stay on your
Take it
fucking
away.
knees. Get up and go to work. Do
That's
something
right.
about it.
That's right. So the reason why that clip got put in there is because I talked about, I was coming home we were coming home the other night, and I called my friend in Denver, our friend, Jim, right? I called him, and he went down and spoke at his, he went down to Florida and spoke at what is it called? Shatterbrook. And he spoke and blah, blah, blah. And we talked, and he also went and talked at the union for the fire departments in Denver as well. And he was saying how vulnerable he was, how vulnerable that made him and everything. And it got me to thinking about it, just how vulnerable we are and how we have to be vulnerable in the rooms of AA in order for us to heal. Would you not agree with that? We have to open up in order for us to heal.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we don't, and that's one of the things I talked to him about.
You're only sick as your secrets.
Yes. And that's one of the things I talked to him about. I said, Jim, those are those moments
Those are healing.
Those are healing moments, right?
When those tears come, that's healing. Don't ever stop those.
Some of the best moments with my wife since we've gotten recovered was the times that I was vulnerable and I was talking to her about stuff that I'd never spoken to her about before, right? That's when our relationships grow. That's mine and my wife's. Then those moments of vulnerability is when I let down my guard and realized the more that I was able to open up to her and the more I was able to speak to her, the more she was able to heal along with me.
And if you realize that's the shit they've been waiting for. They've been waiting for this for years for us to do this.
Now, they don't want us to be fucking doormats and let just anybody walk all over them.
Well, that's step 10, right? We do no harm without being a doormat.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So, I mean, that's one of the topics, and I want to go through this, talk about this a little bit. And it's just, we learned step one basically is the most vulnerable one. We learned that we had to be fully conceded to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics. This is the first step of recovery. This is the ultimate act of vulnerability because our very first thing we have to do is admit we're powerless. Powerless. And we're fucking alcoholics.
We're powerless.
We've talked about that a lot on here, right?
Okay, let's specify because that's bullshit. Sorry. Step one is not admitting you're an alcoholic. We admitted that.
Oh, yeah.
Is admitting we were powerless over alcohol and our life had become unmanageable. We were powerless.
That's the part where the second part of that.
That's the humility.
Right. The second part of that is the part I didn't get till I was probably 2 years into my recovery.
Right.
I never even read that part of it.
Unmanageability part.
Step one was something I never even talked about a whole lot because I was a fucking alcoholic. Oh, wait a minute. No, my life wasn't unmanageable. My life was perfectly fine. I never lost my job. I never lost my DUI. I never had a DUI. I never lost my wife.
Yets.
I didn't have, my life was perfectly fine.
Perfectly manageable.
Perfectly manageable.
According to me. Don't ask my wife though, because
I would say till I got sober and I had to look backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you saw the wreckage.
And the unmanageability. I mean, your life is not manageable when you're driving by a barn saying, man, on every third day, if I drove into that,
right,
it would look like an accident, and I could go. That's not manageable.
Nope.
But we lie to ourselves.
Yes, we did, and that's that. Like I said, those vulnerabilities. Step 4 and 5 are confessions of self-examinations. Right, we pocket our pride and go into illuminating every twist of character, every dark cranny of the past. Once we have taken this step, withholding nothing.
Withholding what?
Withholding nothing.
The only secret is your secrets. That chicken, my chicken died, man.
And Abigail.
Abigail was her name.
Abigail, those poor kids. Did you explain to the kids? Do you still send money to her?
No.
You don't send money to the kids?
Nope. Hey, they're just part of my omelet in the morning like you got, buddy.
Fuck, here we go.
Just part of my 3-egg omelet.
Dude.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah. If there's an extra yolk in there, that's not extra credit. Larry gets mad.
Rob Don's going to give me shit for that for a long time.
Oh, buddy.
Withholding nothing.
Hey, but think about this. What we talked about balance. It ties right into this too.
Because it all ties in there.
Withholding nothing.
Right.
The reason I struggle is because I don't give it to God.
Right.
We don't turn it over. Don't turn it over. Don't turn it over.
I got this. I got this. We talked about that too. We beat it to death on the last episode.
Well, we talked about it, and I bitch at you about this, about everything.
Your wife's playing footsies with the end of the table.
I love it.
I can't sit still. I have to sit there and turn. So
hey, by the way, she loves foot massages, so get after it. Handle that shit, buddy. Handle that shit.
I'm not taking your job from you, Rob.
Well, I'm great. I'm a dude. I give good foot.
You are a good foot.
I give good foot.
You are a good fucking foot.
Good foot rubs.
Yeah, good foot rubs.
Yeah, you need to finish that entire sentence.
I give good feet.
Rubs.
Clickbait.
Dude, you got to let that go.
Sorry.
Oh my God, dude.
Anyway, I give you crap because about control. And what it was the Rob Thomas great quote. The only two things I can control at any given time are my attitude and effort. Right.
Right.
And if I would listen to my own bullshit, sometimes I wouldn't have the
you know what though, Rob? And you say that, you say that, and I don't disagree with what you just said. If I would just listen to some of my own bullshit. Here's the thing about us, and I catch myself on this, and this may sound like rationalization to my own self, right? Because as it's coming out, it's literally what I'm doing is rationalizing this to myself. But I when I teach people to do stuff, I teach them I know the right way to be doing it, but I don't do it that way.
Do as I say, not as I.
Yes,
yeah.
And I'm very cautious about how I handle these situations when other people are watching, because this is the right way to do it. But when you're not watching, I'm going to make these shortcuts. Because I've been doing it for 30
Everyone's
plus.
like that.
I've been doing it for 30 fucking years. I know how to make these shortcuts without it going. But don't you do it that way, right? Or you got to be in your book every morning. But I'm gonna only do it once a week.
Because don't you know who I am?
But yeah, don't you know who I am? God's always with me, right? I mean,
and I've been paying the price for that.
We listen to our own bullshit. That's where we talk about. Yeah, that's a hard one. Power of sharing with others. Once we have complete willingness to take inventory and once have the right attitude of humility, our sponsor, our spiritual advisor can help us review our past in a meaningful way. That A teaches us the healing comes through honest disclosure. We talked about that. I've said it many times that when I went through that fifth step, after that fourth step, and started walking through that, and I felt like those like an onion being peeled apart and all that shit falling off of me, and I never really thought my fourth step, I didn't think, was nothing.
It wasn't, buddy. You're just a garden variety alcoholic. I've heard a lot. Now, to Katie, to your point, we joke about Abigail, my girlfriend, my old chicken. Which is a joke. However, I do know a man who was. That's why that clip is so funny. I know a guy like that. And I know
scary.
a guy. I know a cat.
The
You better
circles.
never have been at my house.
No.
That's why you don't have chickens, Bonnie.
I got a dog, and I love my dog. My dog is my favorite. I'd hurt you.
It's your favorite child.
Oh, I love that dog.
The man's worked his steps down. He's good.
Sure.
Anyway.
Well,
How do you admit to something like that? Wow.
Vulnerability. Vulnerability.
Vulnerable nothing. How do you look at someone in their face?
Inside that room.
I'll tell you
Only
how.
sick is your secret.
I'll tell you how. Because before they lay into where they got it on paper, I'll give them some of mine. I'll give them some of my chicken stories. And they look at and Jay did the same thing to me, and I'm looking at Jay, okay.
Oh, Jay don't surprise me in any way.
Okay. Now I feel more.
I love him.
I feel more at ease. I can release some of this barnyard tomfoolery.
You know what? And I think that vulnerability that you have with your sponsor, if you ain't willing to be
then find another one.
Thank you.
Go find it. If you can't,
I don't
tell
think
this
I
person,
ever could have got there with my first sponsor. I don't.
Then go get another one.
Because that to me was, and that's another thing I talk about at Maynard's. When I say get your sponsor, and if you don't like the first one, find another one and do it quickly.
But make sure, because I was talking about this with Sam, we're at jiu-jitsu. I fucked him up the other day because he hurt my elbow. But anyway, Sam's got 6-7 months, right? And
you're talking about young Sam, the kid.
But he had another sponsor who, been sober for years,
Right.
then came back. It wasn't working for him, and he did the hardest thing. And Sam's very sensitive. He went and got another sponsor. He goes, because it wasn't. That's one thing I could. If you're a newcomer and your sponsor's not if your sponsor pisses you off,
right,
you're probably pretty good. If your sponsor doesn't piss you off, go get a fucking another one.
Right.
But if you're not going through a sponsor's job, job is to take you through the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
Not to co-sign your bullshit.
That's right.
He's not your doctor, not your lawyer,
Amen,
not your
brother.
marriage counselor. He's your fucking sponsor.
Not your banker.
But if you're not going through the steps, go get another one.
Right.
And if it bothers him, he can pray for you. Fuck him.
The one guy I took through, the one and only guy I've taken through the steps, and he's doing very well. And I actually spoke to his girlfriend yesterday, and he was
Who I took through the steps.
Huh?
Who I took through the steps.
Correct. He was, the longer we spoke, the more vulnerable he became and the more comfortable he became.
Right.
And what was so great about him, and I was kind of, we obviously didn't go into details, but as I was saying, what was great about him is he gave me his fifth step and I go, is that all? No, then there, he just is.
Right.
Is that it? No, then we went off for almost an hour and a half with
one more.
Right? Because he just kept getting more and more and more vulnerable. And as Rob said, right, we're only as free as our secrets.
So
right?
sick as your secrets.
Yeah. So either way you want to put that.
How free do you want to be?
How free do you want to be? Right.
And for an alcoholic, you guys, and I understand because listen, the first time I sponsored a woman, we all know the story. I've said it here. My wife's here. She can. I always love having people here because when I say
validate you.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, because she was asked, she was asked by this woman.
Right.
And I had talked to my sponsor.
And I've met her.
And my sponsor at the time said, no, we don't do it. Men sponsor men, women sponsor, and I heard 50-50, but it's still up to me. And I asked my wife, and she says, listen, I'm not and I'm going to say exactly, I'm not a fucking alcoholic, and it's a good thing. But if I was, I wouldn't have no woman sponsor because women
I'd have to have a man.
Women are nothing but catty bitches.
I'd smack a female. I'm sorry.
She says, you've been given. She said, you've been given a gift. This woman asked you for help. It doesn't bother me. You help her.
And I actually lost a friend over this. I actually lost a friend.
Her?
Over her.
No.
Him sponsoring a female. And I tried to.
Gotcha.
From my point of view, yes. If I was in the alcoholic situation, I feel like I would almost have to work with a man so he could kind of put me in my place. I don't think another female could do that.
Another female of your same caliber could.
I don't think so.
Really?
Ooh,
No.
I don't either.
No.
You don't either?
Anyway,
No.
but eventually I had to help this woman learn to have healthy relationships and boundaries with other women. And now she's moved on, but because it's not, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I think if someone's asking for the help, I don't care if you're a female,
I don't
a male,
disagree
a
with
dog.
that. I don't.
Give them the help.
Right.
That's what you're there. If they're asking you for their help,
Yeah. It's
I get it. There's some men that maybe
I mean, it's not for
Do a
everybody.
13 step?
And it's not
can't.
something.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
I mean,
Can't-
I think there's some women that could cross the line or
definitely.
or look into
She got free
if Rob-
haircuts out of it, though.
if Rob was showing compassion or empathy towards her, then some women can take that as a mixed signal as well, and that's not
Well,
okay.
there's a fine line. There's some people that are dead set against it. It's not something I look to do. It's not something I wanted to do. But there's just that one situation. Because again, to my point was, and to my wife, and not that I don't trust women. I'm a man, so I don't feel that. But I understand your point of telling someone about your chicken. How can you tell people these things? Men are less likely to go blab.
Oh yeah.
Where women are more likely to.
Psst, did you hear
I'm
this?
the first one that has said and this is from my experience with women, I guess I should say. They're vindictive and they're catty and they're vengeful. And I'll throw myself in there. Like I always said, if we would have gotten divorced and I would have saw this man with another woman, I'd have burned you both to the ground. Like,
That's murder.
just
Mary.
vengeful. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I feel like that's
that's
how
an episode-
women think. Yeah.
That's
see,
an
I just feel
episode
like
of
that's how women
Dateline.
think. It's called Snapped.
we watched that too.
I got them all.
That was one of my reasons for calling Jim Hart. Was there was a Dateline on from Broomfield, Colorado, and he says it is like 10 minutes up the road from him. That's was sparked my interest to call him to begin with. Anyways, fear and isolation versus openness. The feeling of having shared in a common peril is one element in the powerful cement
Page 17.
which binds us. But in itself would never
not.
have held us together as we are
Common
now
solution.
joined. Common solutions. Beyond shared pain, AA emphasizes shared honest experience. The vulnerability of one alcoholic speaking openly to another one builds that deep bond.
You realize you're not alone. Because
Right.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
When
no,
you-
I knew.
When you see someone in the rooms in the grocery store, right? And you give them that nod, but then when you see someone in a grocery store or restaurant that you know has worked the steps, that common solution
Hug.
that they've stood,
Yep.
they've sat in front of another man or woman and laid their soul bare. Hey, this is me. This is what I've done, and and that there's a certain level of respect, and that because you know where they've been.
Do you have, sorry.
No, you're
excuse
fine,
me.
babe.
Do you, not judging, but do you have a different outlook on some people if they have not worked or walked the steps?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That are in the rooms?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
If they're not in the rooms, if they're just walking a sober journey alone without having done all of those steps.
Oh, no.
Do you think that there's,
Okay, that's different. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about judging. If someone who's in the rooms who's an alcoholic that are just a rim runner, as we call them, I have a different outlook on you.
Mm-hmm.
But someone who's got a sober, if they're doing a certain, like Sean, amazing. Do I think he went, we heard his story, but he's walking with the Lord. He's got his walk and he's doing the same things we are.
All right.
Yeah.
And he's came clean.
Yeah.
He didn't do the same exact way we did, but he's got an amazing journey going right now.
so
No
his
problem.
platform is equal to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So there
He's
are
doing-
people that can be that way.
I just wasn't me.
Yes. But some people really truly do need the steps.
I don't think I could have
Or
got.
they can't
I
be
did.
free
I
until
can't be
they
free, right.
I couldn't have got there without seeing my character
now,
flaws.
That being said, Katie, I know people like that, and I've taken people who weren't alcoholic. They were just maybe Christians, and they wanted a deeper walk with the Lord. Yes, the steps are necessary. If you want something deeper, if you've got a great walk with the Lord right now, and you've never done this type of house cleaning, and you want something more, yeah, do it.
You know, Larry and I spoke about this last night and talked about someone who does not have a dependency problem whatsoever, but how the steps could definitely help.
Absolutely, they wouldn't hurt my grandmother.
Yeah.
He's taken people through the steps that aren't alcoholics.
You did
Yeah.
to a point,
I've
didn't you, Bonnie?
taken some, and
I got to the
Grace-
freaking make amends part.
She said, nope.
I started making that list and thought, yeah, I'm good. I'll start drinking
Facebook.
if I have to go talk to these people. If I have to go say anything to any one of them, I'll take a bottle with me.
That's funny shit. That is funny.
But don't you think sometimes in some cases where not to make amends with someone, like if we've done someone wrong or if we felt wronged by someone, sometimes we don't want that from them either. We just don't want anything to do with them.
I
We
think
don't
it's
wanna
the type
see
of
'em. We don't wanna
person
have-
too.
Yes.
There's some that you're like, I don't care if you don't like me. I
Correct.
prefer it. Stay away from me. Don't
Thank
look at
you.
me. Yeah. Stop breathing.
I
We're
can't
good.
carry an ounce. I can't
See,
harbor
but more than that
anything.
for us, things that we done wrong, because make amends, we have to make it right to the best of our ability,
Right.
regardless of what. If someone hurt us, that's
one thing with your amends things though that I have a hard time, a very hard time, because I have heard, like, you know, when you go and people are speaking at the meetings, you know, and you hear their story and stuff, and then they'll say something. And when I had to go apologize to this person for doing this to me, excuse me? Why did you go apologize for that?
just for their part. I know what you mean.
No, but even for things that may not be their part, things that, you know, they
Talk
maybe
about
just,
molesting.
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
a victim to. You're going to go say sorry to that molester? Oh, not even a little bit. No.
I've had.
And
I'm waiting for Rob to answer that.
Well,
that's
I
but
just-
those are the kind
No,
of things
no,
that
no,
I
I
do
agree with you,
struggle.
Bonnie.
Wait, hold
But
on. To her
I
point,
struggle with that.
she's conflating two things.
What was that word?
Conflating. She's misrepresenting. That person didn't go apologize for that person molesting. That person went and made amends for their part in a relationship. You know, that to this person who had hurt them badly, but go own your part of, you know, whatever you may have done. That's kind of,
But see, I wouldn't have a part if you wouldn't have done that.
you know, anyway.
So they just a little like those. But same thing with like the Bible too. I had a very hard time struggling. I remember one time our pastor gave a thing and said, you know, if Jeffrey Dahmer said, Lord, please forgive me, guess who you're going to be sitting at the table with up there? Excuse me. Like, it's just some of those things are hard to, it's hard for me
us
to
to
grasp it.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not hard for us to grasp
Yeah,
because
exactly.
because we have done our 10 step and we do constant inventory.
It's not for us to judge that person.
Yeah.
Right. If
Who
he's
am I-
sitting there,
Listen.
the man at
Well,
the head of the table
well,
made the decision, not
Yeah.
me. Not me.
I know what I've done in my
Right.
life.
Right.
Things known and unknown that only my sponsor knows,
Right.
you know, and
Yep.
I know what I've done. I know things that I would have loved to do if I could have got away with them. Ooh, but the only thing that stopped me was the law or whatever,
Right.
you know. So I'm no better. I mean, in God's eyes, I'm just as guilty. I need Jesus just as much.
Yep.
So that helps me.
It goes back to sin's a sin, right? There's no the sin. There is no levels of sin. There is
And that
zero,
is-
no levels.
yeah, that
there
is
is no
something
levels
that-
of sin.
yeah.
So I mean, when he goes through the 10, right, our list of sins or the commandments, there's not one that's more important than the other one. They're all the same.
I broke every one of them too.
that's, yeah.
I think
What's worse, the person that commits murder or the one that wants to do it?
it just doesn't. Well,
Does it? Well,
That's me.
see, I think it's the one that does
There's
it,
many
but-
people I want to put through the wood chipper. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just call me when you want to bury them. I'll be there for you.
No,
He's got an asphalt
I
plant.
got a hot plant, dude.
I
I've
need your
already
help.
tried
We've
that
already
experiment.
planned it out.
Tell you what it is.
Done.
You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Who's Kyle we taking?
Whose car are we gonna take?
That's my friend.
That's right there. There's my ride or die gal.
Right.
We do it.
That is it, my brother. Humility as a way of life. We saw that humility is responsible. Were indispensable principles. We found that we could not be helpful to all people, but that we could be helpful to the willing. We began to learn that it was only by repeated humiliation that we were forced to learn something about humility. 12 step,
Humility.
12 by 12.
Hey,
seventh tradition.
humility. God grant me.
Oh yeah.
It's not about one
Right.
another, hey, let me tell you about how I fucked up today, Larry, as a man. That's
Right.
that humility for us is God grant me.
Right.
I can't, Lord.
Humble.
Yeah.
Humbled.
I can't.
Right. What do you always say if somebody comes to you talking about how humble they are?
Yeah, I walk away.
Yeah.
Fuck
I don't
that.
disagree with you.
Fuck that guy.
Show
Is
me.
that kind of like no, trust me.
Right.
Well,
Believe me.
Trust me.
Well, 'cause-
I wouldn't
Or
lie.
I got your back.
Yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't lie.
When somebody tells you I got your back,
Well,
better have a fucking rearview mirror.
what he's talking about, because, humility is usually a topic in, like the 12th month.
Right.
And for me, humility lives in the house that gratitude builds.
Right.
If you walk up to a man, he's telling you how humble he is, I'm leaving. Fuck that guy. He's an idiot.
Right.
But you walk up to a man who's telling you how grateful he is, I'm going to listen. I want to know what you're grateful for and who you're grateful to. That man is humble. That man is right-sized because he's grateful. That's what I'll listen to him. But a man tell me how humble he is, I'll go find someone else to listen to.
Right. You hear them coming into the rooms, right? I hear them quite a bit talking about how humbled they were and humbled this. And that, especially if Rob's sitting over there, we kind of just look at each other. It's very discouraging when you can see humility in somebody on how they speak, how they walk, everything,
how they treat others,
how
and
they
how
treat each
grateful
other.
they are when they're just.
I mean, a humble person is, they're a billboard when they walk into a room. You know how humble they are. Johnny O was in yesterday and it was his 15th, right? He was turned 15 yesterday and he got a little emotional.
He texted me the other day.
Did he? Yeah. He needs to get here, right? He got a little emotional when when he was talking about, 15 years ago coming into the room and, how humble he was through his sponsor, that he had to, the stuff that he did, that was one of the topics that he talked about. And he's a very, very humble man. He's that guy, when he walks in, you could see just how humble that man is.
Because he realizes that we are here by the grace of God and nothing else.
Yes, by the
Do you
grace.
think that's something that comes with walking the steps too, and even
Oh, yeah.
doing a reevaluation of like where you're at? Because I know that Larry sometimes, not that he needs to rewalk his steps, but I think he does that evaluation and goes back and then kind of works in whatever situation. I think he applies that knowledge and then moves
Oh, I
forward.
used
with it.
my 12 steps in every ounce of my life. Every ounce of my life. Yeah, it drives
Because
it.
we can make we can make stupid decisions sober as we did drunk.
Right.
There was a time, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. No, how long was Jason Elliman sober? 7 years, about 7 years ago, when that room opened up in Oakdale, and I'd kind of moved from primary, and I had Jason Allen, Jason Ryan. When all those were going, and I'd go to Jay. Hey Jay, guess what? I heard another 5th step. I heard this is my 5th one of the month, or my and I was. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And I didn't realize I was patting myself on the back, and then I didn't.
Right.
Not humble.
Right.
Look at me, not God. But I wasn't mentioning God and all this. Hey Jay, look what I've done. Hey Jay, look at me. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. And he slapped me down. God did, as he does.
It's this.
But you can get caught up.
You can.
We can make stupid, selfish decisions, sober as we do.
Right.
We're drunk.
The one of the I get people ask,
LS2.
Yeah, LS2. When I was talking to him before we started the show, I said something about, that he was just a huge help for me on getting this started. And he's the reason why. He's like, no, I'm not. You guys have done a freaking amazing job. And I hear that, but then there's other times, like in my father's speech, and I'm proud of this, but I'm also, I sometimes forget, we're in 27 countries and we have over 10,000 listens now. I mean, that's freaking amazing. Right. But did I say thank you to God in that entire speech? I did not. No. Right. So there was a point of me not humbling to what has been given to us. Right. That was,
you pointed out the bald head midget though.
I did. Yeah, you can't blame me. I mean, you stood out. You were the only bald-headed midget sitting at that table. Jesus criminy. Jesus Lord. Clickbait. Oh, my God. Breaking through denial and isolation. Who cares to admit complete defeat? Practically no one, of course. Every natural instinct cries out against the idea of personal powerlessness. It is truly awful to admit that, glass in hand, we have warped our minds into such an obsession of destructive drinking that only an act of providence can remove it from us.
My wife and I were talking about on the way here about alcoholism. How did you say it? With the alcoholic, the amazing, you be throwing your life away. You're getting ready to lose your wife, your family, your job. Let me have one more drink.
We can't grasp for the fact, how could you let go of your whole family for what, this drink?
Oh yeah.
That's like hard to.
It's
The denial,
I mean, yeah, that it's
incomprehensible.
well, you know what's even harder, Bonnie, to explain than that is one alcoholic explain it to another alcoholic that has not hit that moment of clarity yet. Right.
And that's
what we talk about this all the time when when Rob Don over there, when we talk about getting a pheromone spray that we can spray on somebody that they can
takes them over that final hump,
take them over that last bit
of pain that you need.
You know, they're in demoralization compensation, but I get those words mixed up all the time. But they're even in that,
incomprehensible demoralization.
They're in that spot,
they're just
and
they
still can't stop.
You know,
right?
they're going to go drink one more time
every morning. Every morning they wake up.
Them not willing to be vulnerable,
right?
That's what we're saying, Katie. That's what we're saying.
Exactly what
they
it is.
don't want to go there because they don't like how they feel either. But it's easier for them to drink
right now
than for them.
They don't want to face all that.
Correct.
They don't want to face it. They know they're going to have to open up.
Like they can blame the alcohol,
right?
But
there's people that are in the room 7, 8, 9, 10 months that still aren't willing to get there. Right? They're still there. There's people that 2 and 3 years that I've talked to that have never walked to the steps, have never gone there. They're dry. Right?
Is this the one you guys call like the white knuckling it?
The white knuckling, yeah. Those are the ones that they're happy being sober, but they don't have sobriety, right? Yeah. That's one of those things I said to you last night, and I have a hard time with it.
They're not happy being sober either.
You're right.
You're
they
right.
have sobriety,
they're still
but they're
angry.
miserable.
Yes.
Well, look at Nathan. It took him 6 years, and he finally got so.
Nathan is one of the best examples of that.
He got so emotionally just. Either I'm going to do this or I'm going to go get drunk. Either I'm going to work these steps or I'm going to go get drunk. And he,
what does Kevin say at Primary? He was angry for having to be sober. He was angry that he had to be sober. And every time I hear him say that, I was angry that I had to be sober. Okay.
I get it.
I get it.
Like
I
what
understand.
You said in the car as far as, why can't I just have one?
Right.
Like, what is it? Why can't I just have
that's a lot of people's problem.
one drink?
Right.
You know, why does it have to turn into?
I didn't realize that is that when I progressed, once I read the doctor's opinion, that the phenomenon of craving. Oh, that's why when I take a drink, which I'm going to do just one, I may be able to stop at 2 or 3, or I maybe go get in a bag.
Just the thought of it. Just the thought of it gets my brain clicking.
But I didn't realize that.
Where somebody might be sober, like the gentleman that you were speaking about, where he was sober for over 6 years, and what made him take that drink, or what made him think that he would be okay with even one drink?
Because he stopped doing the thing. Because
the big 3. Tell him about the big 3,
Katie. So you're gonna have to. My brain's on a different.
They quit praying.
Yes,
they quit talking to God.
I didn't know where you were
working
going
with
with
others.
that.
They quit fellowshipping.
Yeah. So
and eventually, that old thinking comes back. I can have a drink. I'm cured.
Don't they think they're cured? Yeah.
Yeah,
They think
so
like they've
here's
been
what
through it for
happens.
so long.
You have people that sit in the rooms with you that are maybe not even sober, sitting in the rooms with you.
Yes.
Walking those steps, acting like they
as
are
they're drinking.
as they're drinking, or
have one of those in your
actively
close
being
group.
part of a group, or
yes, Bonnie, we do.
Men that and
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't be. I'm not anymore.
I mean, that to me is troublesome, and it not troublesome for you or Larry, because I'm not supposed to believe in him as a man, because he doesn't like me to believe in him.
Don't put your faith in
I have to
man.
have faith that he's going to continue to do the right thing, that he's going to make those choices every day, not to drink one day at a time. But then you're around others that make that choice and sit there and lie to you.
You know what?
Even though they've walked those steps.
I don't mind when I see somebody go out like that, because it reminds me of what I don't want to fucking do. Right?
They do our homework for us. I call them scouts.
Right.
They go out. The Indians put the arrows in their ass. They come back in. If sometimes they don't. Oh, it still don't work out there. It's still no good.
Yeah.
Thanks for the homework, buddy.
I'll
stay here and go the easier, softer way.
McKenna and Pat's, they went on their honeymoon, and the resort, everything is freaking gorgeous, but I haven't been to an all inclusive like that since I've been sober, right? I mean, the last 3 or 4 times I was at one, it was wide open alcohol for 7 days, right? Swim up to the bar, fill it. I mean, wide open. That consumed me. It consumed me so much when we were there that I didn't want to go out and do the excursions, like everybody else does. Or if we did go out on one, I was watching my watch to figure out how quickly I was going to get back to the pool, to where we can float and have more alcohol.
Yeah, I could swim up.
Right. Swim right up to the bar. So I started thinking, Katie and I were talking about this the other day, is like, what would I do? Right?
But
What
look
would
at it this
consume me?
way. Think of how much money you spent on your last trip.
No,
with
this
all
is
that
all
alcohol?
inclusive. But
it's already paid?
all
Oh,
inclusive.
okay. I
That's
didn't
what
know
I'm
it's
talking
already-
about. It was
That was the
empty.
I was going to say, you
That's why we
saved
didn't go to
thousands.
Hawaii. I mean, we have been to Hawaii, but that's why we didn't make Hawaii a destination for us for these vacations, because I knew that it was
$12
going
a
to
drink?
be. Yes.
Oh, it'd
we
be-
had neighbors years ago, and their daughter was close with our youngest. And I remember them talking about this cruise that they went on, and their alcohol bill for
Was
just
more than the trip.
parents
I did that.
were more than the family of 5
to go on the cruise.
to go on the cruise.
It's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
probably the first thing I noticed when he got sober. When we'd go out to dinner, our
the-
bill was about $50 cheaper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Long Island's made. That's
It
the only
was,
time
it
I
was
drink
about
a Long Island.
$50 cheaper.
Top shelf.
Yeah.
No, my one and only cruise, Mike McPhee still has. Mike McPhee and Mike Owie
Oh, I've heard
still
about
have,
this thing.
because we didn't have these, pictures of me naked from the only time I drank tequila.
He peed on other people's luggage.
Honey, four-step. Four-step.
Well,
Abigail.
if she knows about it, yeah, Abigail.
I'm not in AA. I can say whatever I want.
No shit.
I did. Well, the last day of the trip, they put you put your luggage outside the door, and then and I was buck naked down the
How'd
hallway.
your glasses get broke?
Big boobies. She hit me in the face with big boobies, busting my Ray-Bans, bitch. That bitch.
They had a picture of her. They were the size of my head. They were so big.
Torpedoes.
Dude, about knocked me out. Big girl.
Yeah.
Big boobs.
Owning feelings of shame and guilt.
No guilt.
We must be entirely honest with somebody if we expect to live long or happily in this world.
Right. Not anybody.
Right.
but
We. Rightly and naturally, we think well before we choose the person or persons with whom to take this intimate
So
and
important.
confidential step.
So important.
Those of
especially
us
for women.
belonging to a religious denomination which requires confession must, and of course, will want to go to the properly appointed authority who's blah, blah, blah.
And Bonnie knows this.
Though
guy.
we have no religious connection, we may still do well to talk to someone ordained or an established religion. We often find such a person quick to. Anyway, that's part of the step 5. Isn't about sharing deep. It's about sharing deep, often shame-filled emotions with another person. That is what we talked about earlier. That it was the onions falling apart when you start talking about shit that's been bugging you for 20,
not just bugging you, but I mean shit that you've been
eating at you.
And when it learns to swim,
You're
when
ashamed
Jack
of it.
Daniels doesn't bury it anymore. I mean the shit that
Shamed. Yeah.
shit that's happened to you, being molested,
Right.
the shit that you've done. Yeah, that shit it's got to go.
Yeah.
gotta
That and like I said, this whole
That's why my
topic
wife
is
wouldn't let anybody babysit our kids
right.
because of what happened to me.
We could never take a vacation.
Well, my parents were dead, so we didn't have.
Right.
My mom was having a lot of back problems and stuff at that time. My sister was still in college.
Yeah, so we they were our kids.
no
They're
help.
ours to raise, but still.
And I would never let everyone, well, there's some girls from the high school. Yeah, I don't think so.
Right.
They're not coming near my child.
Logan would have appreciated it. Sorry.
She'll kill you.
I was a boy too.
I think
Not my boy.
I think if a girl crosses them now, I think she'll kill him. Kill her. Sorry. Kill her.
I did not want him in Vegas.
Oh.
They went on a wrestling trip to Vegas, and my only thing was
Me and my son did.
keep the dirty girl. I don't want dirty girls near him. Don't shake their hands. Don't look at him. So I see on Life 360 they're in Vegas. So how's it going? This little jerk texts me this picture. He's got 2 showgirls, one on each arm, in like this little just covering your nipples bra and maybe like a little triangle and these feathers. Dude, I'll fly in there $99. I can be there in like 30 minutes. Like get away from my son.
I feel sorry for his first girlfriend. Oh my
If
god.
she's a good girl, she'll be treated so well.
We tease all the time. You've had the pleasure of meeting my grandson. You
Oh
adore
God, I
him.
love him. He gives the best little hugs.
He does.
He's so sweet.
And it's really with his whole
Yeah.
heart and little being. And we say there's going to be a line of whoever breaks his heart, there will be a line of ladies that will handle that girl.
Oh, dude, I'll
and
be
her
in my
mom.
70s by then. I have nothing to lose.
Perfect.
Bring it. Bring it. I'll probably have maybe 3 years left after that anyway. So, yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I like my women a little on the trashy side. That's what Logan's going to bring.
No.
But hold
bring a
on.
trashy
I'm
home.
going to show Mary this picture. Look at my son, though, Mary. He's not even touching them. His hands are not on them. He's just in the picture.
They're in his airspace. They're breathing
They're working
close
their way
to
Bonnie.
his
They're
face.
working their way through school. Stop it. So I
Now,
just-
what if one of those was your daughter?
He was
on.
a what?
Can we put
Well, just let him
Bonnie.
respond. What if one of those was his daughter? How would you feel about that picture?
How would you feel
She'd be
about
chained in the basement.
I
on a
wasn't
leash.
asking her, asshole. I'm looking at
It
you.
wouldn't be my daughter. She's not like that. Anyway.
Oh, no.
So Katie, I'm up in the room, just, and him and some of the boys they go off. I mean, they're whatever,
They were minors. They were to be in the room with you.
No. So I get,
You have
so
to
I
have
get,
some faith in them that they're going to make a good.
Not
I
in
do.
Las
I don't
Vegas,
have
honey.
faith in
Sorry.
other
He did
people.
not
It's
in
the
Las
other
Vegas.
people that I can't.
he did fine. So he sends that to his mother. I get this sent by her. Where the fuck are you? And this going on. Oh,
If
look
I
at that.
get one with my husband, that 99 flight's going to be in about 20 minutes.
If I'd have known that, I'd been down there with him. I wouldn't touch him. Look, my hands aren't touching him, Dad.
I am. I'm so jealous over him. I love that kid. I'm going to be so jealous.
Well, he's not like Kane. He's amazing. I mean, because when I got sober, he was like 4.
Yeah.
And then what became important to Dad, like Monty says, I got addicted to God, whatever, became important to him.
Yep.
And my daughter, but him, he wanted to get baptized. I mean, he's just,
Rob did Bible time with them every night, him and
That's
Emily.
awesome.
He would go in there when Rob got cancer. Logan went and got his Bible and sat down and started doing Bible time for the family because he couldn't talk.
well,
It was amazing. I love that. boy.
I think I've told the story. I can't tell without crying, but anyway, we've talked about it.
You have.
But that's
I don't.
that is the fruit that
Right.
you
Oh, for
have
sure.
cultivated
Absolutely.
and grown
Absolutely.
in them too, and that's
Absolutely.
I mean, how amazing!
So towards the middle of cancer, you can't, I used to call Pastor Steve all the time because I couldn't, about 2 hours into the day, you wouldn't be able to talk anymore. It just gets frustrating because you try to keep up, and the COVID's going on. It's just a miserable time. So I was doing Bible time about 5th week into it, and I just frustrated, I was getting ready to start crying because I just couldn't talk. And then he comes up, puts his hand on my head,
Logan?
Mm-hmm.
grabbed the Bible and said, I got this, Dad. And then
How old was he?
he was 15.
No, he was, freshman year.
15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's an awesome kid.
He is. I had got to spend a weekend with him, and I got pictures of him on my phone of him and them down on the.
You don't got pictures of him with those girls over there. I don't want my wife to see him.
There's 2 different ones. Yeah. It's the ones we took up camping with us.
He likes the Asians. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You're gonna get Bonnie throwing shit at you here.
Hey, as long as they're a good girl, that's all I ask for. Just a good-hearted person, and I'm good.
Listen, he's probably going to marry someone a lot like his mother.
Oh, fuck.
You know it.
Bitch.
What's wrong with that?
Bitch might get smacked. Might be a little hair pulling going on then.
He hopes so. Sorry.
Hey.
Just have to put her in her place, explain how it's going to be.
Damn it. Emotional honesty leads to growth. The alcoholic is an extreme example of, I just read that.
Self-will run right.
Connection happens through emotional openness. There was a sense of belong, of being understood, and a feeling of relief that someone else knew and cared. The isolation had broken down. The barrier had gone. They were no longer alone.
That's huge.
That's
for us.
the last part. Yeah, that I say that.
We are not
for
the
last.
only one. We're not the only ones.
When I in those rooms at Maynard's, when the first 15, 16 days I was there, I could not. I didn't associate with anybody in there.
You couldn't see the similarities.
I could not.
Hold on. You would not see the similarities.
Thank you,
You
Rob.
just saw the differences.
Thank you. I was blinded by the rest of these degenerates that I was sitting with, right?
Because don't you know who he is?
Don't
Katie?
you know who I am?
Larry
These
Shepherd.
fucking degenerates, right? And the day, and then the when my eyes got open to my character flaws, and I realized that I was absolutely in the same boat with those guys on that same deserted island, and we were all there together. my heart opened up, and I wanted to. I wanted to know what I could teach somebody else instantly. Right? What can I do? What I need to do? I need to do.
And and I think for people like us, because I joke about the jujitsu, and this is what the other day we were at a tournament. When I went and beat the 40-year-olds, but when I'm on the mat with the young kids, or not, I'm talking about the 20-year-olds, and even the young ones, or even when I'm teaching as we're going, and yes, they are hurting me because I'm letting them work the moves. And then I was talking to Logan, and then he goes, "Hey, Dad, maybe you should not teach so much," and you wouldn't, And then as soon as he said that, and Malachi comes walking up and goes, "Hey, Mr. Thomas, every time I work with you, I learn 3 more new things." And then he walks off, and Logan goes, "Maybe you should keep teaching that."
Yeah.
Because it's in our nature.
Right.
To
I
help
love
and teach.
it.
That's what God has given us. So it's like swimming, you can't fight your nature.
But you never know you don't know how you're affecting people or what you're doing in some person's life, whether it be on the mat or whether it be working the steps or even just sitting in a room with somebody or being an example that somebody just sees who you are or how you are or what you're doing or how you treat Bonnie or how Larry treats me or how you treat each other even or the group in which you've built that people want to have that same type of community, which is awesome. But you don't know what you're doing, the example that you're setting until somebody says something, even if you want to back off of it, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Rob needs to back off for a period.
You need a little bit more Bonnie time.
Well, don't accept any.
Listen, here's the thing, Rob.
I don't know.
Here, and I don't want to
It's
go
hard
back
to tell
on the
someone no. They need
hard,
help, and you can't.
I'm not
going to
go back on the previous episode, but I am going to say this. Here's the thing about it. You know your Lord speaks to you in the way he speaks to you. You understand that. I think what you are is you're a fucking hardhead and you think you have to go fucking do it anyways. Right. And you don't stop and listen.
You're right.
You don't.
You're right.
And you and I have spoken about that multiple times. And you said it
pause
earlier.
And reflect.
You said it earlier. I don't listen to my own bullshit, right? You don't. And you need to start listening to some of that stuff. And I need to do the same shit. I need to start doing that taking our own advice. We say that, and in my mind, I say, well, this has to be done. This has to be done until I get off tilter and I fall over the other side. And then I have to become vulnerable to another human being, another man, and say, hey, man, I'm in a bad spot. We need to sit down and talk.
You know what I struggle with the most? One question. Man comes up, Rob, will you take me through the steps? And say I'm booked. I'm loaded up. Here's the question. Not that I do it better than anybody, because I just do it the way I do it. But if I don't, and he goes out and gets someone else and he gets drunk, it's not my fault. I know that, but I struggle with that.
I was gonna say it's for him. It's guilt. What if what if he says no? I don't have time, and then something happens.
It's not
He's gonna feel like I shouldn't have said no, and this wouldn't have happened.
But that person was probably gonna do it regardless.
Maybe.
But that's still hard
but
for you.
That's the one thing. Because when I asked for help, I was not told no. And when I asked, Jay or when even Kurt, yes, when you ask a man, hey, will you take me through the steps? Will you help me? What you're really asking is, hey, will you help me save my life? And that's how I hear it. Yeah. When a man says that, how can I,
And I usually am the one that's like, no, go ahead, do it. Yeah. Go ahead, go do it. It'll go. But
you also know that service is important for both of them too. Yeah.
But it always comes at her price.
At our cost.
That's okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to read something to you, Rob, and this reminded me of another. Service is good, but overdoing service can become ego or advantageous.
Which it has, like I shared about the J thing.
AA encourages service work, helping others, but also warns against turning service into an obsession or a way of avoiding personal growth. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity, tradition 1.
Yep.
So the tradition 1 is sometimes you forget that our personal well-being must come first. You know this,
Page 19.
You know this as much as everybody else. If you're not emotionally fit, that person you're helping is not going to get the best of you anyways. So they're only getting half of Rob anyways. You're better off to stay emotionally fit and keep 1 or 2 at a time and not 4 or 5 at a time, because you may be helping that guy and he may still go out and get drunk because he didn't give you 100. You didn't give him 100% anyways.
who do I say no to? Number 1, 2, or 3, or 4? Which one do I turn
Rob,
down?
that is not your choice.
But maybe
That's not
what
your
you
choice.
need to do is network better. You know, you've
You're a
sponsored-
very highly exposed man, right?
Yes.
You're very, and this is not, God has used you in some amazing ways, right? He has brought you in to celebrity status in the rooms no, hold on. God has put you there, right? When people talk about in the rooms of AA, who's a good sponsor, there's a few names that get brought up, and you're one of them, right? God has brought you into that realm, whether you want to believe that or not. The only way to describe it is a celebrity status in the rooms of AA. Don't let the word celebrity get.
because that's
don't.
That's how
It's a
people-
Don't. It's a
is.
gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
It's a very good gift.
But-
And the only way I can describe it is celebrity. There may be a different word for it. Sought out. Very sought out person to have people. You need to protect yourself from that a little bit. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what this whole 2 episodes was about, was you. To get you to that. To protect you. Because we ain't getting 100% of you. And we need 100% of you. When you ain't well, none of us are well. That's what this entire 2 episodes was about. You get it?
Got it.
All right. Thank you.
Count on you.
You have such a good network of people that you've either sponsored or that you have walked with through these years. Maybe your outlook needs to be, you know what, I can help you, but I know who could really help you. And this person might be a better fit for you, and not take on that burden of having to walk everybody through. You know, you need to
No, you're
raise,
right.
you need to raise Larry
Other sponsors.
up,
Other-
other people.
You've
that you
sponsored a lot of men that you can push off.
yeah, but you
That do it your way.
But they need to be of service too. It's part, and maybe they're not doing something like you guys are doing here in the podcast, and they're only just showing up in the rooms, but they're not chairing a meeting or something like that.
That's a great
Maybe that is.
You hear that, boys? You're going to start getting everybody, all the boys that listen to this podcast.
Sorry.
You're going to start getting some more work.
Delegating.
No, I think so. No,
And thank
I don't-
honestly, yes.
Right. I don't.
Because personality wise, you're going to be like, hey, this guy's a lot like this person. Maybe
Right.
they would be a good fit, and maybe they could really hit off even a good friendship that could, you know, who knew that you two were going to be so close?
Jay, I mean, think about it. Jay that's what Jay did. He delegated me off to you. Absolutely, he did. He knew that I needed something different.
Yeah.
God made that whole thing with Jay, you, and me in that room that night.
Katie was there.
God put that into place right there.
Right.
God knew I needed you, and that whole thing worked the way it does. Jay, I would
that's a
not
great
have been
idea.
where I'm at with
But
Jay.
maybe because
That's a great idea.
you know, now that you have, look at Jay and the experience of all of the years in which he has.
good grief, yeah.
I mean, many, many years. But who's to say when he started delegating people off to other people in his walk as well? Because he couldn't take on everybody, as you know.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you have to, but kind of get the sense of that person, maybe their personality, maybe who would fit with them, and then maybe, you know, pass them over. And I think you guys would be a great fit. You guys figure it out.
I think it's like Katie's nail on the head right there.
Yep. You know who else does that?
Who?
You know John from Escalon, John and Mary.
Yeah.
He'll do 5. And then one of those will do 5. You take on 5. And that's how they
do it like Amway.
so they don't get. Yeah.
It's an
It's a little
MLM.
pyramid screen.
Mary's got questions.
Okay, so for you ladies, what have you learned about your husbands through listening to this podcast? Not to put you on the spot or anything. Sorry, I probably should have prepped you.
You know, you can answer
I
that
knew.
damn question yourself. Let's not forget Mary's husband was on here too. I mean, you can answer that question yourself too. By listening to Sean when he was on here, you can answer that same question.
Yeah,
You learned a lot about Sean during that podcast.
I did. Sean never sat down, and I never had the full story, like bits and pieces over the last decade. You know, walking with him through it, but to sit down and listen to it up front really shifted a big perspective of how I look at my husband.
I have no friends, so he's like my only friend. So we talk about everything anyways. So,
You know what? I'm I'm incredibly proud of Larry's growth through this. So I'm proud of him for so many other reasons, but even from episode 1 until whatever we're at today, but just like you were talking earlier, I can hear it when his ADD, ADHD shifts and he knows he's got to shut this down. Oh, we're going long or whatever else. And he just wants to shift, but you pick that up with him pretty quickly too. And I get annoyed with him and I always tell him, but just like I said in the earlier podcast too, you didn't finish their story. There's pertinent things that you want to know and how you can finish that person or like really where they're at today with their family or, you know, whatever their story may have been, you know, and I think sometimes that he needs to shut it down because he doesn't want people to lose interest and he wants to keep them coming back, but he doesn't want to make it into a 2-part episode either. So there's some things that he needs to be a little bit more patient with, but I think he really has grown in some areas. But you're absolutely right. He needs a little stop sign and like, wait a second, roll it back.
There's a lot of times where we'll be talking and I'll be like, this is going somewhere I don't think the listeners are going to like. Instead of putting my faith back in God, right? Instead of putting my faith back in God. Rob has told me many, many times, well, that wasn't a very good episode. I didn't think we did this, that. He goes, well, thing about it, it's not in our hands at this point. And their episodes they'll do great, right? They show well. And it's be like, wow, there's been episodes that have aired that I'm like, how in the hell did that one get so much traction? But it did. And I get responses from people, right? That's because I'm not in control. Just shut up and let the podcast do what it does.
Know what's going to touch somebody in some way. And, you know, maybe it's not in their family, but maybe they know of somebody or somebody that they care for that the situation is very similar and it hit their family that way. And, you know, who knows?
You know, the one that helped the guy out of North Carolina the most? The one that helped the guy out of North Carolina is the one that you and I basically are going off on the triggers. And I thought that was just a bullshit episode, but that's the one that got the guy to call me out of North Carolina. That's the one, because we were talking about triggers and F this, F every other word. It would have been a solid bleep. It would have been a solid bleep if it was on TV. It was bad. I couldn't even hardly listen to it. That's the one that got the guy. That's the one that woke the guy up.
Probably because it sounded the realest. You're not trying to
we were
stop
real.
yourself.
Yeah,
from,
we were real.
Oh,
I mean, we were bled open on that one.
Okay,
that was incredible.
So talking about F-bombs, can you please?
Oh, so Laurel, so I will put in there if I say the F word when it's out of context. Only if it's out of context. But Laurel, who's been on here, when she was up here for the wedding and she brought me a little, it's not a jar, it's a frame, and it's got, I think we put it up on the Instagram post, and it's a swear jar basically. And maybe it was Laurel that said it, when it fills up, it should be able to pay for our video equipment.
And it sits right next to your jar of fucks from
Yeah, and now Katie just owes for that. I guess that was in context, though.
Rob doesn't make enough money for me to have to use a swear jar. We'd be broke.
All right, Mary.
Sorry.
Are you guys are you wives concerned about your husband's relapsing? Like, is that something that sits on the forefront and the back front?
We have a little bit more time than you guys. It's not something I worry about anymore. What were we talking about? It wasn't too long ago.
Because Larry you have how many years, Larry?
A little over. I got 19 months. No, sorry. I got 3 years, 9 months. 3 years, 9 months.
14 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Rob and Mary are having to share Mike, so. You're fine, Mary. You're fine, Mary.
I'm not concerned about Larry because I think that he has enough tools and people around him that if he's going to do it, he's going to do it. And that's the choice has already been made. What makes me sad is when people close or around or within our little community or world go out drinking again. That's what bothers me, because why?
We love them.
Yeah.
That's what's it's hard for.
You do. And it makes me sad because they have this ability to have this life that you're not.
And you know how good it is. You've been there.
Yes.
So why?
And why do you, for what?
Yeah. I was just telling him not too long ago, every once in a while, I'll throw in there, thank you. Thank you for not doing the relapse thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for not having to, go to Maynard's, twice, 3, 4 times. Like, I'm very grateful for that we haven't ever had to deal with.
It's only Sunday though.
Oh.
I just had to throw a Robism out there because he doesn't have a microphone in front of him. So I had to throw a Robism out there. It's only Sunday.
But no, to your part too, like we talk about that a lot with the gratitude and thank you for doing what you did so that we can have this life that we have.
Right.
Because we would be in shambles had you not gotten your shit together.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's just, you know, I here's the thing that's hardest for me is when I see, and once again, I got to be very cautious because listen, nobody knows, you know, we know this. So I don't know what tomorrow is going to happen. Right. I know today I'm going to stay sober, right? By the grace of God, I'm going to stay sober today. And who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I have another drink in me. We say this all the time. We have another drink in us. I don't have another sober. And for that, I'd have to give up everything I've worked my ass off. And I'm not willing to do that. I am not willing to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to start over. I don't want to do any of that shit. I don't. For what? A drink? For a moment of escape? You have to come back to it. You have to come back to reality. That's why I say, and I don't have another one in me because I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't. I couldn't do it. I would give my keys to the house. I would sign over everything and go up in the mountains and just finish it off. I couldn't let my wife and kids watch it again. I couldn't.
See, that wouldn't work for me because if there's one thing I learned with his cancer, the family don't work without him. It is not going to be the same. The kids are not going to be the same. It just doesn't work. And it's kind of embarrassing, but
no.
I'm very
but Lonnie, I'm sitting here looking. But Bonnie,
like
what you're saying is correct. It shouldn't work without him. It shouldn't. If the family's working correctly, it takes all units of it. It does. You know, I don't want my family to go on without me, right? I don't want my family to go on without Katie. I don't want my family going on without any part of this family that's involved in it. I don't. But if it happens, I don't want them to watch it. It's like Alzheimer's. Yeah. If I get Alzheimer's, I've told her many times, if I get Alzheimer's, take me up and put a bullet in my head. Because the only one suffering is the people left behind. I'm not. Same way with an alcoholic. The alcoholic ain't suffering. They're fucking drunk. They're not. They are. The family's the one that's suffering. They're the ones that's watching that person go through it. They're the ones hurting. I won't do that to my family again. I won't do it. Today.
I've got anxiety separation. Like,
oh, hold on. Hold on. Shit. Hold on.
Oh my God, Rob, you kill me.
Hold on.
Dude, that's so funny when he
give it.
You know what else?
Talk about ADHD.
Okay. You know what else gets to my wife? When my son gives her a look. Well, we were talking. Okay, my wife came clean, baby. Katie, my wife came clean.
It sure didn't take you long, did it? It didn't take him long at all.
Was that a fifth step that he just threw you under the bus on?
No, it's good stuff. This is good. We're helping
This
people.
was on the way over here. He couldn't wait.
We're helping people.
He almost did. He almost got all the way through the...
We're helping people. So I'm going to let my wife take over. So we were talking about, what we talking about, alcoholism and, and people throwing everything away and, how can they do it over a drink?
Yeah.
And I said, well, we were just talking about things people overcome. And I said, shit, like, nicotine is tough. Yeah. And she says, on that note, babe. And I can't quite remember. She said, after you said on that note, babe, would you please finish?
Well, when I went to Wyoming, they were like $5. You know the ones that are like $25 here?
Justified, rationalized, minimum.
They were like $5.
What was $5, babe?
What was $5?
My vapes. Oh. The little nicotine vapes.
Yeah.
You know what? For being married to you recovering alcoholics, like, have your fucking vape. Like, y'all are a lot. I love you guys dearly, but y'all are a lot. So, like, have your vape, live your life.
It was a money issue when Newsom started taxing it by 100% and adding this and adding this. It was out of spite. Okay, well, then I'm right here. I'm not even going to buy them anymore, you piece of shit. Like,
Well, that's what they wanted.
yeah, okay, well, it
You let 'em
worked.
win.
So until you leave California, and they're back to $5.
All right.
No one's here. I'm in a whole nother state. I'm not going to get caught or anything. I didn't think it'd be that hard to stop again. So when I got home, yes, I've been cheating. I've been cheating, right?
And you had to buy it in California?
Yes. Yes.
Keep going, baby. Go.
So Logan's working 410s right now, so he has Fridays off. I'm not used to having anybody home. It's just me. So I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm watching my stuff, and I was like, no one's home. Got my bag. Just sitting there doing my thing, and I'd set it on the thing or whatever, and Logan comes walking out. I'm not even thinking about it, and he looks down, and the look on his face. He just looks at me and goes,
The disappointed son.
oh, God. I don't know what it feels like to stand in front of like a priest or a pope, but I think I got a little feeling of it. Like I look at him and he's just like, the fuck is that? Why are you
Like it's a
doing
crack pipe.
Exactly. But the thing is, when Logan was little, okay, I used to smoke cigarettes, but I always hid it from my kids. And
This is when we need video. Look at Rob.
when I say hid it, I mean put your hair up in the towel, the rubber gloves, the robe, because no one's going to smell it if you use all of that, so the kids would
Use
never
the body
know.
spray too.
I didn't use the body spray because I had a mother-in-law that would primo it up and you'd puke by the time the end of the day was there. So I was on the side of the house and I'm sitting there sneaking my cigarette and I'm smoking my cigarette and I look over. Shit, there's Logan. Kid's like, what, 9?
Maybe.
9, 10
Old
years
enough.
old. He starts crying. Remember all those stupid-ass commercials about the drugs? Nicotine is drugs
say no.
and the hole in the throat.
Yeah.
Logan loses it. You're gonna have a hole in your throat. You can't go in the water. And I'm just like, oh. Dude, I quit smoking cigarettes and I went to vapes because it was better for you,
Right.
It's not cigarettes, blah, 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 blah. So he caught me the first time. He just caught me. Did I scratch myself?
Yeah.
He just caught me.
You beat yourself up.
The second time. The look on this kid's face, I felt like shit.
Ugh.
I felt like this tall.
Oh, we know the feeling.
How long ago was this? Ballpark?
This is like a week or two ago.
And he's a 21-year-old man.
Yes, the look. I can't get over the look. So I went and got myself one of those little fidget things. It's just air. There's no nicotine. There's no
Although,
nothing.
Larry, she said a prayer asking God for help.
Oh, yeah. So I prayed on it, right? Prayed on it.
Didn't tell her husband.
No, I'm
But she
not going
prayed.
to tell him.
She took it to the
So-
Lord.
She took it to the
But
Lord.
wait.
She didn't need to tell you.
Did your son tell you?
No.
I'm glad he did.
So I'm praying on it, and my actual prayer, don't let me be a bitch so I don't have to tell him. I don't have to admit it to him. Just let me get through it and act like it never happened, No one will ever know.
Oh, don't
So
let
I
me
go
be
to
a
Quick
bitch.
Stop to get some of the little pods. They don't have any. Okay, so I go to another, and there's only like 2 or 3 stores in Oakdale that carry these. I go to them all. They don't have them. A couple days later, me and my mom were going to Costco, so we're going through a riverbank, and I'm like, can we stop right there at the AM/PM? Because I know they have them. They don't have any. What the hell is going on? I get home. I Google it. Well, Enjoy ripped off the patent from Views, so they've been canceled. They don't make them anymore.
Oh, shit.
So I show my
Prayer
son.
answered.
I show my
High and
son where they're not, and he goes, if you switch to a different brand, you know how messed up that is, right? He's like, you can't get any more of an answered prayer than this. So if you don't, and I'm like, I get it, dude. I got it.
Yeah, slap God in the face. Like
Yeah, he's like, there's not more of an answer than that. How can you
That's
not
so
need more of
funny.
an answer than that? But yeah.
I just found out.
If Larry can only have
Did you
a
just found
sign.
this on the way in? That's so funny. Is that why you were saying "fuck you"? We're not talking about that when you're guys.
Yes.
And we did.
And you know what?
Rob backed
I've
you
always
into it,
told
too.
my kids and stuff. Like,
That's so
I even
funny.
told Logan, if Dad was to ask me straight up, "Hey, have you been vaping nicotine?" I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I'm gonna say it. I just don't give him a reason to ask. So when he just started like praising me and stuff, I'm like,
Oh boy.
Well,
the guilt.
that's like asking. Now I have to admit it. So stupid. So stupid.
Funny.
Or like when you try and lie and you're like,
Never mind.
give me 5 minutes and I'll think of a good one. I'm just not a good spot liar. I have to have like some time to really come up with it. Like
That look. Did she ever catch you drinking when you shouldn't have been drinking? Katie did out in the garage one morning. It was probably like midnight, 1 o'clock. I went out to get and she come walking out. And I was putting it back away in my toolbox. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, looking. I thought I heard somebody over here." Dude, that look on her face. I could still remember that.
I just told him to. We were in the bedroom, 2 nights ago, and I thought he said he was getting in the shower, and I thought he got in the shower, so I went to the closet and I went to my little hiding place.
Oh my
I started
God.
puffing on my little thing. And then he was in the doorway to the bathroom, which is connected to our room, and he asked me something, and I'm like,
You gotta hold it.
like trying to, and then I'm like, no. So I'm like, I totally thought that he caught me. I totally thought that he saw me. So I even asked him, I'm like, is this one of those things where you caught me, but you were just going to like, let me come to it myself so it's more effective? Or no, I didn't see you. I don't know how you didn't see you. Little puff of smoke's going to go top my head.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
That was good.
I apologize.
Okay, I got 2 more. What's the biggest lesson that you wives have learned about yourselves being married to a
That's a
recovering
good one.
alcoholic?
That's a good one.
I'm kind of a dick.
That's so funny. That microphone's driving me nuts. Thank you. Tighten that up, Rob. I'm sorry.
It's tight as a motherfucker.
Okay.
What do you mean what do you learn that you learned that? What do you mean you learned you're kind of a dick being married to me?
Well, like since you got sober?
Yes.
Well, you're kind of nicer. Like,
What have you learned about you being married to me? Is that the question? Yeah. What have you learned? What
have you learned about
the last
yourself?
15 years? What have you learned about you as we're going through the sobriety? Well, you kind of learned that, that it don't, not that you're not self-sufficient, but it really don't work.
oh yeah, it doesn't work without. Yeah, you just like hearing I need you, huh?
No.
You can answer it that way. Like, what have you learned about him?
Yeah. What have you learned about me? Or what, I don't.
It from before to now,
Yeah.
much more caring,
here's the
much
thing,
more.
because you've known me since I was
Like,
6.
okay, perfect example. I know I'm wrong. I know I did wrong, but I'm not going to admit it. And he'll come say sorry. And I won't say sorry back, knowing that I should. I should actually be like, actually, you don't have anything to be sorry for. That's kind of me. But I'm like, well, cool, if you're going to say it.
Well, I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
No, you won't get that.
Oh no.
No, fuck no, you won't get that.
Sometimes.
Well, at least you know it.
But it's a 50-50.
Well, it used to drive me nuts because step 10, right? Eat your crow hot.
Right.
We had a little, not yell match, but, just kind of snapped at each other a little bit. Hey, I apologize for my part in that. And okay. Bitch,
I just went vulnerable on you and you shut me down.
So when I in early sobriety, fuck,
Right.
I'd walk away, bitch. You were just as bad. I wouldn't say it, but but eventually we had to talk. Hey, listen, well, it was the kids who both said, "Mom, you never apologize." And I just said, "What?"
My kids,
What'd
my
you go- what'd you
daughters have
guys say to
said
your
it
mom?
to Katie.
Yeah, and so again,
Actually, it was little Switzerland.
yeah,
Don't you have something to say, Mom?
Logan.
No.
Little Switzerland is what you called him.
Logan, Switzerland.
That's
But
funny.
again, it goes back to how free do you want to be?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But after cancer, again, I say that because they cooked me.
Uh-huh.
I don't take as much shit.
Yeah, he does not.
I don't take
He
shit.
doesn't take shit like he used to take
No.
it.
Yeah.
And
I think it's age, though.
Oh, I think
Like,
that
my
has a
mom
lot
was
to do with
really
age.
sweet, and
Yeah.
she's like, I'll laugh now. That's
but
what
I'm
mom
not
said.
fucking 70.
Well, no.
Close.
Well, you're older than me, bitch.
He's 80.
I want to hear Katie answer that question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
You know what? I've learned a lot about myself in this journey because not that I was dependent upon Larry for a lot of things, but I knew that I had when I saw the signs that his problem was just becoming bigger. I had to rely on myself. I had to make sure that things were handled. I had to get our ducks in a row. I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to lose what we had, no matter what he was going to do, whether he was going to come out of this on the right side or if he was just going to go independent and live on his own and,
drink myself to death.
pretty much. And that was a huge concern of mine, but I had to become more dependent upon myself because Larry was, he worked from home for so long and then he wasn't working from home, but I would be able to call up and say, hey, I forgot to do this. Can you do this? And he would do it. And so he was always picking up the pieces or things that I had dropped or forgotten about or whatever. So I know that there was pressure on him too, but I had to be dependent upon myself and I wasn't relying on him for anything at that point. And so I really had to learn, but I think our communication since he has come home, I think it's better. And I think that how we sort through things is much better than it ever has been before. And they're not saying that there's not times where we're not at each other's throats because there's other stressors and there's things that happen in your life or, whether it be family or commitments that he's committed to and don't work out or whatever the case may be. But, we still go through some things, but I think how we deal with it is way different than we did even before. So I think we've both grown a lot. I know that he has in so many other ways, but I think I've had to be accepting of some things that I don't think I was before. So
Yeah, she's changed. I'm going to answer it. I've watched her change in the last probably 6 months, 7 months. And I think a lot of that is because, I'm not afraid to be vulnerable to her and talk to her. And I think at first she was a little bit taken back by that it wasn't, this is a little off-putting, right? She didn't really know. But I think once she got used to having those extremely open conversations, whether it was intimate conversations or whether it was household financials or whether it was, something that happened at work or whatever it was that I was buying into the conversation and not just being there for the conversation. I think once she realized that now that she's not as afraid to be vulnerable to me and open up to stuff with me, and that has a lot to do with the way we've worked together through this whole thing, right? It hasn't been a me journey. It's been an us journey, right? And that's the way I look at it from the whole start. Yes, it's my battle that I have to do every day and pick up my cross every day and carry. But it's this house, this everything has been an us journey. And that's been more important to me through this entire thing than job. And, my sobriety comes first, Katie comes second. God, that's however you want to put that. But I put Katie right there, right? My sobriety, then Katie, right? This doesn't work without her, right? I scared to death, and I hear guys that lose their wives in the rooms of AA. That scares the shit out of me, right? I praise God every day for people like Rob and Doug and Jason and that whole room of men, because I would have to live at your guys' houses, right? My daughters would be amazing, but I'd have to have my brothers. That's the only way I could do it if I lost her. The only way. So watching her change as this grows it's been incredible. I am going to go back to this though. I was probably only about 7 months, 6 months. So no, I wasn't. It was in July. I got out in May 10th. In July, my daughter turned 30 and we were at her birthday party. And it's the first time I'd ever looked at my wife and said, "You're just being a fucking brat." And she couldn't say, "Well, you're drunk," right? I was completely sober and I was like, "You're just being a fucking brat." And she was like, "Okay." And we went off and had dinner.
When that happens.
And we had a blast.
Here's another thing too. And as you're together for as many years as you are, there's an ebb and a flow in your marriage all the time. And you're always growing. And sometimes you have a little bit of distance, but then you come back together and you're tighter than ever. And then something could happen. And, like he's got a lot with work right now. And so I just have to give him that space and let him be able to do that. But I think you have to be wise enough to see that something's happening. And I think that's where a lot of people aren't in tune with each other.
Right.
And that's where their marriages really start to fall apart, is because they're not paying attention to what's really happening, or they're so focused on themselves that they don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with that. I got my own crap going on or whatever else. And this is the same thing. We both have stuff that are happening in our lives, whether it be at work or, in other aspects of our life as well. And some, not cattiness and drama with women, and that's how it happens. But there is some things that happen that we take more to heart or we take more seriously than Larry or Rob would. And Larry's like, I don't even know why you're worried about this. And he gets so annoyed. And I'm like,
that black and white thing I've
it
said
is,
about.
but it's that it's this action is going to lead to this, that's going to lead to this. And you see all of these steps that are going to happen come down the road. And if you don't get in front of it, then it's just going to be a massive issue. So for us, it does become an issue, whether it's in our house and in between us or not. But if it affects us, whether it's our kids, our son-in-laws, our grandkids, whatever, it does make a difference to us. And so it is going to affect what's happening in this house and what's happening in our relationship. And I think a lot of people don't see that, and they don't come together, and they just go apart.
And if you don't change together, if changes are being made, you've got to change together. If only one's changing.
And if you can't grow
Yeah.
in those changes as well, it will never work.
Yeah.
So that's why we know a couple. They've been together for a very long time. Their children are grown, and they have multiple homes, and sometimes they're together and sometimes they're not. One's at one's house and one's at the other. And why this makes sense, or how this makes sense in their relationship, it to me, it's, why are you putting this distance where you don't have to see this person, you don't have to deal with this person, and what are you doing?
I think it's sad. I still get excited when he comes home.
Absolutely.
Me and the dogs still run out there and meet him out at the side of the truck. And
especially when Larry's been gone for a couple of days, I know that when he's 100 miles an hour all the time when he's on the road working, because he has such limited time at these locations that he wants to give as much as he can, and he wants to handle as much as he can. So I really don't call him too much. I don't want to bother him. I don't want to harass him about something that might be trivial, important to me, but trivial to him. But even when he's back in the hotel at the end of the night, I can hear it in his voice. He is just down. He is just exhausted. He's used his brain at full capacity all day long, and he just doesn't want to deal with anything. So I just let him have that peace and quiet. He doesn't have to deal with our dogs here. He doesn't have to deal with me. He doesn't have to potentially deal with a house full of grandkids or something like that. So it's just something that he doesn't have to deal with.
Yeah.
But I let him have that minute. But because we've grown enough that I can trust him too, and I have faith that when he's away, that he's going to make the right choices. But I think some people just can't grow in their relationships, and that's why it doesn't work. And why they stay together is beyond me.
what do they say? It's cheaper to keep her?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a situation very, very close to my heart that I think it's a cheaper to keep her, and it makes me very sad.
Right.
Because I don't think that he's living his full capacity.
I'd rather be poor and happy.
Yeah.
That's true fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last one I have is just, even as like a fellow married to a recovering alcoholic, there's a very small community, I feel like, for us wives. But what is your one piece of advice that you'd give to another wife that's starting out this journey with their husbands?
Starting the journey.
Starting, I guess,
Right.
starting or
No, for sure. I just want to make sure that's great. I just want to make sure that that is just starting this journey. That's an important part.
just reflecting back on like how you guys handled it. And
I
where-
know her answer's going to be.
First of all, I would say support him in whatever decision that he's making. If he says, I have to go to a meeting, okay, bye. Do you want me to ride with you? I'll sit in the car. You know, if it's an open meeting, then go with him to the open meeting. If he says that he needs to, you know, meet with a sponsor, or he's having a tough day, or any of those things, you just have to believe, because he's also being vulnerable and explaining to you exactly what he is. And you're hopeful that he's going to be vulnerable with you and tell you what he needs. So definitely just be supportive. But that's for really anybody in your life who is walking through this and they're having a day that they're struggling. Have they talked to their sponsor? Encourage them. Who do you have to talk to? What do you need to do? Do you need me to be with you? Do you want me to take you somewhere? Let's find a meeting, because it's really easy to find a meeting on an app. No. They're all around you.
I think I'm a little, I don't know, maybe different in the sense, first of all, yes, you have to be supportive. Don't give up. Sometimes I know you want to. You want to walk away. Don't give up. And don't have too high of expectations in the beginning. Yep. When he first came home, like you said, in the beginning, he would just go to sleep. So I did everything. I was thinking when he came home, yes, that helped. No, there's 90-day meetings in 90 days. Then you have to work with your sponsor, go through the steps. Then you have to take on sponsees so you can, stay sober. So try not to have any expectations. Just let it come together as organically as possible and just keep it like.
But what if the man isn't doing the deal?
That would be hard. I don't know. I haven't been in the situation where the man hasn't done the deal. I know if I was already going through a certain amount and stuff, and now you were gone for 30 days and you're still not going to step up, I'm going to be a little angry. I'm going to have some anger behind that.
Okay, but just given your experience, what would you tell the woman? Like what you said, don't give up. Don't expect too much.
Don't have your expectations too high. And the more you support him, the more you're going to get back. But
I think we too have to take it one day at a time.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Just you'll never know what's coming.
Because we have to be understanding, there's days that are just bad days. And it's not because Larry's got an itch to go and drink or anything like that. There's just days that this weighs heavier on you, as it does us. Sometimes something, I know you hate triggers, but there's something that will bring us back to how we felt or what we went through during that period of time and what you were drinking.
Triggers for the alcoholics.
I was just saying,
absolutely for you guys.
Yes. I was just saying, you're using the proper term for trigger there. You're using it in the proper form. Yeah.
There's certain smells, that alcoholic smell, that will trigger me every time.
Yep.
I can feel an anger. I can kind of, your mouth starts watering, your stomach starts getting, I can't handle that smell.
We have the right to be able to have that feeling or animosity a little bit in regards to it. Do I regret not forcing Larry to potentially, go to Maynard sooner or something like that? I don't know if it would have been the right time. I think that when he went was the right time. What he had to learn when he went was the right time. And for him, his journey is not the same as everybody else who walks in, because I don't think that he was very compliant. I think he was angry, but I think he was angry at other things as well. And I think there was a lot that had to be dealt with. Yeah. But, I think he's such a control person too, that he could control it and he could do it himself. And no matter what we were doing here in the house, he was going to do whatever he wanted to do because he thought he could control it. He had to be broken, and it had to come from where it came from for him to really understand. And the only thing that we as wives can do is try and support as best we can, in the hopes that our, your husband, whoever, has really gotten to that point where they really are broken down, and this is what they need to do to continue in their life in a better manner for not just themselves, but for the marriage, for their family.
I think the one thing I just want them to know is just, if you can, there's no physical abuse and things like that. Hold on. Hold on if you can, because the man that you're going to get out, if they do the work, the man that you're going to get out of it is 1,000% worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it'd be something you never thought it would be this good.
But your relationship grows.
Yes.
I don't want to say that I love Larry differently.
Oh, no. Don't do that. Don't discount that, because you just said that yesterday. You do. We both love in a very much more passion now
in
than
a
ever.
More profound way.
Yeah. Yes. I don't want to discount that.
But not that I didn't love him then. I was so heartbroken and disappointed for the life that we were living. I was sad for him because I couldn't fix it either. You know,
But it was kind of like a new love, right? You were falling in love again with
you
the new.
Yes, you see him in a different light, but you think that I felt like I was being seen for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that was because he was outside of what he was going through.
And I say this, I didn't even know how to love myself, ever, and that's not just in my depression. I didn't know how to love another person. I didn't know. When I first started dating her I didn't know how to love another person. What I thought was love was not love. Was not. Until I learned to start loving another person. I married her. I loved her. It was a love and beyond all. I mean, I knew that she was my soulmate, but I didn't give all of myself to her, right? Until I went through the steps of AA, until this rooms of AA. You guys in the rooms taught me how to love somebody other than myself, that I actually fall deeper in love with my wife. And when that transition happened, our relationship went to a whole other level. Now I would fucking murder somebody for her. And I don't know if I felt that same way before, because I think before I would have thrown her under the bus if she rode me sideways. Right. And that sounds horrible to say, but if it came between me and her, it'd probably been her prior. Right. I mean, and that was before my drinking. I was just a selfish individual. I come from selfish people. Right. It's in my DNA, and I just don't know it any other way. Anyways, that was a great question. That was deep.
Thanks. That's what I'm here for.
And you're here for the beauty. Don't take that away from you. Yeah, that's Mary. What about you? I mean, you answer that question. How do you feel you grew through that? I mean, Sean was sober when you met him, though.
He was. Well, no, I met him drunk.
Well, that's true.
He was a drinker, probably
Right.
just not a drunk.
He was
a drunk.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Feel the beer.
I met him one of the last few times he was drinking. But I think patience, I think that coming from my background and evolving who I am as a human, with not that all law enforcement looks this way, but just because I grew up in a law enforcement as a kid, I'm a law enforcement kid, grew up working in law enforcement, my perception of people who drink, because it's not, you're not going to tell me that there's not cops, law enforcement. It's not like they don't have the support anyway. So there's a shit ton of alcoholics. It's just under the covers. But because it wasn't talked about, because it was, well, what the fuck's wrong with them? Get your shit together. So in my mind, that was dirty. Those were dirty people. That was get the fuck away from me. And I'm a recovering bitch. So I was really like, get the fuck away from me. So to meet Sean sober, started dating sober and everything, like it really taught me a lot as far as, I don't want to say second chances because I still struggle with trusting people or whatever, but just the light that people can change, because I'd never met somebody in my entire life who had changed. So I didn't believe in that. And he really gave me a lot of hope for humanity, because that wasn't something that I saw. I'm naturally a pessimist, so it's hard for me to look at people and choose optimism. But that's just how Sean operates out of. And so it's something that I have to function. And it's taught me a lot about that, as well as patience. Sean and I always joke because he has, I have 0 tattoos. Not against him. I love him. I just commitment, no. But from the time that we met and he was drunk and he went to rehab, he took it upon himself to tattoo patience on his knuckles. So I always joke and tell him, like, God did that so that I could see it. Because I'm the one with no patience. I'm the one jumping the gun. I'm the one who's irritated. And he'll just, like, he goes, I don't know what you call it. Like, knuckles is what he calls it. And he'll, like, so I can read it. And I'm like, okay. And I never had that before. Like, 0 patience. I was running and gunning. So.
But that's just like Bonnie was saying, how she gets AA'd and she starts to AA people and her kids are AAing people. It's because the I don't want to say climate, but what you're exposed to on the daily basis. And Rob probably doesn't even know that he was really doing it, giving you the facts of AA to apply to your lives as well. But it just becomes ingrained in us. And I hear Larry talk about it a lot, and he comes up with quotes and things out of the book or what he's learned. And this is something that he's constantly applying to his life, which applies to your life. And again, I can be like you, where I can lose my patience pretty quickly, but Larry gives a lot of grace now, whereas he didn't before.
That's how, I can get pretty intolerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we kind of reel ourselves back in, huh?
Yeah.
I think it's just because of how we live
as
now.
As long as you don't snap, you can let them reel back in. As long as we don't. I want grace, so I better fucking give it too.
Yeah.
That's a true fact. Don't ever expect something that you're not willing to give yourself. Right. I wrote a quote down, and I don't know why this came up, but hold a smile if you want to create a smile, right? I mean, it goes back to that. If you want other people to smile and you want to see joy, you need to fucking give joy. Smile. Don't be afraid to smile. I will guarantee you, if you're walking down the road and you see another person smiling, you are going to smile. I promise you. If you don't, you need to check yourself. Check yourself in, probably, because it just smiles are addictive. They are. Smiles and laughter is addictive. Yeah, you can't tell me
what mood you're in.
You can't tell me if there's a group of people. You can't tell me. I'm going to tell you right now. I can be in the shittiest of mood. If I see two people smiling and laughing, that's going to lighten my mood. When I hear people laughing and giggling behind me, I start laughing myself. I don't know what it is. It's contagious. It gives me joy.
It's where we are too. Because if I run into two or more assholes in a day, the first place I go, look, there's a mirror,
right?
Because there's something wrong. There's something wrong with Rob. Usually, but no, smiles are addictive.
You said that when you walk down the hallway, huh?
I run into one every day.
I want people to go back to listen to Mary and Sean's episode, and I can't for the life of me remember what episode that was.
It's funny how
how long you been with us, Mary?
An alcoholic.
Almost 2 months.
Yeah.
3, something like that.
I want people to go back and listen to that story because it's a great story. I love it. We'll get it. I want to redo that one. I want people to hear that one. Hey, we've been sitting here chit chatting for almost 4 hours, guys.
I'm going to an AA meeting.
Where are you going? Oakdale. I'm going to take my wife to the grocery store. I'm taking my wife to the grocery store.
Good man. Why do that too?
He has to drive me. I'm done with driving. I'm over it.
Oh, I got pulled over. I got pulled over yesterday.
Were you drinking?
Friday, I got pulled over.
Did you have a beer between your legs?
Nope.
All right. We're out of here.
Wait, hold on. I have a question.
Here.
How do you feel about that? Because Sean always jokes with me. He's like, I can't wait to go through a fucking DUI checkpoint. He looks for them.
They get excited.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
He'll ask for can I do a breathalyzer? Just let me do the breathalyzer.
Or you're like, here's my license.
I didn't have it.
Oh, well, you're already not doing great.
You know what? Larry, he actually, truly, I was terrified because I knew that he was drinking, of course, not to the magnitude that he was, he was a professional at that point. But he did have a long drive, and he, it was predominantly always like CHP out there. And I just, please, Lord, don't let him get a DUI. Never. He gets home from rehab, gets pulled over like 3 times in 2 months.
Speeding ticket in the first like 2 weeks I was out.
Yeah. And then he turned right on a red.
You know when it was? It was a speeding ticket coming back from Roseville, doing my 9th step in Roseville.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. That was the most ironic.
This is the first time I've been pulled over in 30 years. I haven't.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Did you get a ticket?
Fix a ticket.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fix your brain. You can fix them legs and make them longer. I love this fucking guy. Don't get yourself in a fucking hole again, you prick. I love you too much.
It'll happen.
Not if I'm around.
You need to delegate.
I will.
Love you.
Sit on the toilet, don't you?
Thank you for joining us today.
You sit on the toilet, don't you?
Use that as your meditation. If you did not, come back next week.
Or anybody listening to this podcast, if you like what you heard, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what you heard, kiss my Anyway, if you don't like what you heard, go ahead and tell us that too. We'll see what we can improve. We probably won't change nothing, but do it anyway.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Come back next week, and hopefully something will be different and something will sink in. Take care.
This has been Recovery Unfiltered.